Well, everyone, I wanted to kind of break down some of my favorite tricks and tips that I recommend any person out there who has some sort of Samsung Galaxy Watch to go ahead and take advantage of. Now, even though I have the Watch Ultra, I'm going to make these tricks and tips kind of like, capable on most supported Galaxy Watches right now. So, the first thing I recommend doing, it's probably one of the most basic things ever, is to customize your watch faces whichever way you want to. So, as you know, if you hold down on your particular watch face, you can actually go through and customize it. This is something that's been there for a lot of Galaxy watches, and I would recommend all of you to get used to it. So click on your Galaxy Watch face just like this, and what I'd recommend doing is clicking on the Customize button, and what you can do is you can customize these types of watch faces whichever way you want to, which is so amazing. So you can swipe up, you can swipe down, you can change the color in the background to a completely different color if you choose so. You can also swipe to the side to change, your clock face, your so many other things. So I'd recommend going through and again, changing your complications, changing whatever thing you want to, because there are lots of different things you can actually choose from. So I recommend going through here, changing it out, because it is a really, really cool thing that you have here. Now, clicking back and clicking back once more, we can come back to our home screen. Now, another big thing I'd recommend you to do also is to go ahead and basically edit your quick settings. So if we go and swipe down from the very top, you'll come into your quick settings panel right here. And you have different pages, you can see your battery life up there. But did you actually know that you can go through and basically change these complications around and edit them? Well, if you actually go scroll all the way to the end and you click on the plus button, you'll now get into this little panel which will allow you to go ahead and basically delete, remove, you can edit up all the little complications that you have. So you can go through here and you can hold one down, I think, and move it around if you want to. You can also click on the minus button if you want to delete it. You can also swipe all the way to the end if you want to, and you can go ahead and add them. And it's another really cool thing that you have the option here of doing too. So, although it's not like a mandatory thing, it is something that I'd recommend you to do because it is really, really cool that you have the option of doing this too. Now, clicking back home, if you swipe up, you already know you come into your app library, but now we're going to make our way over into our settings application. So within settings, there are tons and tons of things that you can basically modify, and there are so many cool little tweaks and features that you can basically have here. So the first thing is, basically, if you go and scroll down, you're going to come into a little panel that says something like display. So within display, you can actually modify your brightness and everything like that, and your adaptive brightness, which I'd recommend turning on or off. But you can also turn on or off your always on display if you want to. The always on display is really nice to have if you want to, and I'd recommend keeping it on because it doesn't really suck up too much battery, but it is something that you can kind of keep in the background, and I do actually appreciate that a lot, just by having something like always on display. So I'd recommend going through and keeping that on. You can also keep your race to wake on too, which I'd recommend keeping. Funny enough, you may not know this, if you actually wanted to turn off your watch, you could look away from it and it turns off, usually. But the other way you can, if it's not turning off, is you can just kind of put a palm over your watch like this, and it will actually turn it off. You can tap to turn it on as well, but then you can slap it kind of or just put your palm over it and it will actually turn off. And it is actually a really funny thing. Now going back into our settings application, another thing is if we scroll down, you'll have all these other things, but buttons and gestures is a really nice option as well. Now within here, you can change your action button if you have a Galaxy Watch Ultra or even a Watch 5 Pro. You can go and change those. You can start action with, you can use a lot of other things too. You can double press and customize your particular options that you have inside of your Galaxy Watch, whether you have this one or the other ones too. Now the double pinch gesture is one that's available on the Watch 7, Watch Ultra, I think the Watch 6 as well. Now what this allows you to do is it allows you to go through and double pinch together your index finger and your thumb just like this. And when you do that, you can actually kind of make commands. So you can have it go through and basically accept calls. You can do a lot of things with it, check notifications kind of even too, accept things. It's a really, really cool, easy way of kind of using your watch. And I do think this is a really nice thing to have, to basically do as well. Now going back, if we keep scrolling down, nothing else super crazy within here. You have the knock knock feature, which you can turn on or turn off. You have your Samsung Health features and all these other things within settings. Now settings has a lot of big stuff, so I'd recommend going through and kind of going through here. But advanced features is another really cool feature I'd recommend kind of thinking about too. So within advanced features, you have a lot of cool things that are kind of there. You have wake lock, you have your auto launch, you have a lot of other things. Now under Bixby, what I'd recommend doing is kind of clicking into the Bixby button and you'll come right into your Bixby settings. Now Bixby is really cool because you have the capability of using this as an actual thing. So you can go through and, accept and, go into Bixby. Now here you can change your voice if you want to, which is nice. So you can kind of configure your voice. You should probably allow it access to everything if you need to. But then it's going to go and set up Bixby for you, or Bixby. And that is basically that. Now, you have the option of discovering new things and you can kind of discover more, or you can go into your Bixby settings. Now, I recommend going through here again and kind of modifying these settings too, because Bixby's cool, but it's up to you if you want to use it or not. But I'd recommend going through here and kind of customizing these settings as it comes down to it. Now, going back into our home screen, another big thing I'd recommend every single person to do is get used to the touch bezel feature. So the touch bezel feature is really cool because it just allows you to kind of go through and use the different things within your watch face, and it allows you to just get more capability within your watch, which is really cool. So going through, if you'll notice, if you kind of like at the corner of your particular watch, if you go through and kind of ring your finger around it, you'll see that you'll come into this type of page. Now, you can touch very close to the bezel, but if you touch the bezel itself, it's not going to work. You have to be like kind of like your index finger kind of needs to be touching a little bit of that type of panel like this. So it allows you to quickly, because you can do the same thing just by scrolling through here and tracking your workouts and everything. What you can also do is you can go through and just drag it like this, and you'll have that type of capability of monitoring all your notifications like that. And you can come into your notifications, or you can go all the way to the end and get into your steps with the last configuration that you have. Now, if you swipe all the way to the end, you'll come into your add tile button. So add tiles, you can go and add more tiles if you want to, because like I said, there's a lot of cool things that you can basically do here. So you can go through here, you can add all these different types of tiles that you have. Again, there's a lot of them. So I'd recommend going through here, finding the tiles that you actually like, and then kind of configuring out further from there. Now, the other thing I'd recommend doing is kind of taking use of your health applications that you have, here. There are a lot of health applications that are available. So if you want to, you can set up an ECG and actually take an ECG if you want to on your watch. So this is really, really cool if you want to just, have the ability of getting an ECG done. You can have one on your watch, which again is a very, very cool thing. Now you also have your other complications here. You have more stuff. You also have your weather. This is another really cool panel. I'd recommend if you don't already have this on your watch, I'd recommend enabling it because it is a really, really nice one to have. So what this one allows you to do is it basically allows you to check your heart rate, and it checks your steps, your weather, your temperature, your energy score. It's something that's really cool that a lot of people have, including your stress score. So this is something that's actually really cool, and I'd recommend going through and getting used to these types of features, because there is a lot of cool stuff that you can basically use here within these types of applications. Your energy score is another very big one I would recommend every single person to use if you have a Galaxy Watch Ultra, one of the newer watches. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to kind of track the internals, the standard things of your body, and it allows you to get an overall energy score, and you can track that and compare that against other scores that you may have. So this is something that's really cool as well, because like I said, a lot of devices don't have it, but this device, and some of these devices do give it to you. So I'd recommend going through and getting an energy score done, and that's another thing you can do as well. So those are kind of my favorite tricks and tips I'd recommend kind of checking out inside of your Galaxy Watch, whatever Galaxy Watch you have. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video.